Hey Drake, how's it going, man?
Good. What's going on?
Good to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time as always. Always a pleasure to chat with you, buddy. So appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, man. My pleasure. My pleasure.
So first of all, man, I saw you at CMA Fest a couple of weeks ago. We were at the Riverfront stage, and it was one of the performances of the weekend for me, and you could see how much heart was in that performance. So that's like with everything that's gone on over the last couple of years for you, how empowering it feels to be back out there on a stage and doing this once more.
For sure. It was the same for us, man. People ask me about CMA Fest and how was it? And it was amazing. It was amazing seeing people coming back into Nashville that were shoulder to shoulder, hugging and sweating and listening to country music, because that's what music's about. Period. Not just country music, but actually getting out there and and enjoying that. So it's good. It was very, very fulfilling to go out there and say, look, we're still alive, we're still here, we've been doing this, and this is what we want to do, and this is what we're put on this earth to do. And thank you for coming. Y'all are the backbone of all this. So keep coming, keep supporting, keep loving, and rock on.
Absolutely. And how are things for you from a health perspective now? Because you could see from the CMA Fest performance that although you may have lost something physically, it feels like you've made up for that in the heart that you put into the performance. You can see that it means so much to you. So how are things progressing now, and what stage are you at?
Yeah. Sorry about the construction going on over here,
That's
but
all right.
yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, what I've lost, whether it be the mobility in my left hand or left foot, it really was the mental battle of really winning that mental battle of you belong on stage. Limp back on stage, get back up there, because somebody may need to see you limp on stage to inspire them to keep going, and that it's just bigger than me. It's to where it's not so self-absorbed. How do we get a number one, or how do we get you know a great song written, or how do we do this, or how do I look better? That, like, it becomes more about how do I give that fan an experience that they're going to be able to carry them, that they're going to be able to put that arrow in their quiver of defense for the next time they go through something tumultuous, and that's a cool purpose. That's a cool thing to be able to go do every day, is say, today I'm going to go help somebody win the battle, and we won it, and we're up there. And so, yeah, I'm slowly getting my guitar back, and I played one or two songs at CMA Fest with open tunings and stuff like that. But it just, you can't let this stuff define you. You have to keep on your discipline and keep on going, and be a light to people.
Absolutely. And you threw in a cover of Pearl Jam's Alive, which I think a lot of people enjoyed at the Riverfront stage. Is that something you've done on tour recently, or just something you threw in?
Yeah, we had Pearl Jam's my favorite rock band, and we had the idea to put a common arrow through the middle of this show, our show during the Optimistic, of you know we were knocked down, we were attacked by a bear, but we're still alive, we're still here. Do not discount our culture, our big fire. It's still burning. We almost died, a near-death experience happened, but we're here, we're writing songs, we're releasing records, and I feel like I'm just starting. So that was the reason for, I'm still alive. I'm here.
Absolutely. And while we're on the topic of live shows, you did some shows with the Whiskey Myers guys earlier this year. Tell us a little bit about that, and how you sort of connected with their fan base, and how you found that whole experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're absolutely killing it over here in the States, and they've got some really great opportunities. And I hired a new management team that is managing the Whiskey Myers guys, and just had always respected them. I've done a lot of legwork in the commercial world, but I always want to be where commercial meets credibility, and I believe that they are there. Where commercial meets credibility means that your songs are real, they're raw. Their edges aren't rounded off. That you can really put it out there, and being independent, going out there and doing things my own way, is how they made their career. And so we decided to tour, and they're it was great. Their fans loved it, because with songs like American Thunder and 50 Years Too Late, and songs like that, I mean, that fits right in there in that Whiskey Myers vein. And songs like Power of a Woman, Making Me Look Good Again, and those things that are more the commercial side. We just put a little bit of fuzz on the guitars and put a little hair on it, and it was great. People loved it.
Yeah, well, you mentioned 50 Years Too Late there. I wanted to talk a little bit about the new album and how these songs are going down live, because I saw myself at CMA Fest. That seems to be one that people really resonate with. It creates a real sing-along atmosphere. How's the new music going down on tour, and is there a particular track that seems to be resonating?
No, it's great. It's great. I mean, with all the new outlets, whether it be TikTok or Spotify or Instagram or, I'm definitely not a TikTok artist. I mean, I've been out here doing this 12 years, and I put a lot of time into curating that live show. But there's so many ways to get your music out there now, and there's never been a better time to be an artist, and there's never been a better time to be a consumer. You can, I'll take, Brent Cobb, for example. If you don't know who Brent Cobb is, or somebody don't know who Brent Cobb is, or Drake White is, you can look up. It happened yesterday. I'm in California now, and I'm flying over. Somebody asked me what I did. I said I'm a music a singer songwriter, and they said, "Oh, really? Anything that I would know?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know." 3 seconds later, they're on their phones with their iPhone in their ear, going, "Oh, this sounds pretty good." And so it's a little weird at first, but like that's the age we live in. So I think they're resonating great. I think the songs came from a very honest space for me, and it's authentically what I want to put out there in the world.
And you mentioned earlier as well, Power of a Woman, which seems to have taken on a life of its own. You've done the Power of a Woman campaign with Alex, and just tell us a little bit about how much that song means to you, because it feels like over the last couple of years as well, the support you've had from Alex has really carried you along. So tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind that song.
Yeah, well, I just wouldn't be where I'm at without the power of a woman. I mean, she had to be very, very strong. I was raised by powerful women, and my mom and my aunts, my grandparents, my grandmothers, and culturally, we're hearing women empowerment and trying to figure out how equality and all that stuff. And I don't want to get into that, but it's just like I wouldn't be where I'm at without women and them being powerful, and Alex, my wife, being the head, not the tail, and just tackling this stroke and tackling these things that happen to me with grace and dignity, and with conviction and faith that everything was going to be all right. So Power of a Woman was born, and we wrote it, and we just wanted to shine light on local people, whether it be the waitress the little diner that I go to all the time, or whether it be the nurse that's got 4 kids of her own and has breast cancer and has defeated it twice. We just asked people to submit their stories, and they did. They came in by the thousands, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I guess that's why you do what you do every day. That's the joy of the job, isn't it? I guess.
Sure.
So talk to me a little bit about the plan for maybe country radio as well, because there's a few songs on the album that have huge commercial potential. I know Pawn Shop Rings has been one that's been mentioned as a very radio ready song. So tell us a little bit about the plan. Have you got any songs on the album that you want to push to radio and see where they go?
Well, I mean, radio is such a kind of a fickle thing with it always has been. But yeah, there's massive hits on this, whether it be Pawn Shop Rings or Power of a Woman is a big commercial song. And so, yeah, we'll just see how that works. I'm not going to give away my whole kit and caboodle and my house and my car and everything to sign another record deal. But, if the right partner comes along and wants to take that stuff to radio, then let's go. And in the meantime, I'll take my socials and my live shows and my things, and I'll continue building my world and try not to get into the comparison game or the jealous game or anything like that, and just keep my head down and keep moving forward. But yeah, I mean, somebody needs to take it to radio, and it needs to be a number one, because it needs to be heard. Songs like Power of a Woman and Pawn Shop need to be heard, and they carry a that means a lot to me.
Yeah. Well, Pawn Shop Rings, I mean, written by Jonathan Singleton and Alison Veltz Cruz. I mean, that's a powerhouse songwriting duo right there, if there ever was one.
Yeah, they're two of my best friends. I mean, Singleton's gonna produce the next record. So, I mean, we've done so much work in that commercial space, and I'm authentically gonna be raw and rugged because that's just my personality. But like, it would be stupid to throw away all the commercial work we've done. So, yeah, I mean, I've got a bunch of friends, Jonathan, Allison being two of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Drake, just before I let you go, you're coming back to the UK to see us next month at the Long Road Festival, Millport Festival, doing some of your own dates as well. It's been a little while since we had you in the UK. How excited are you to come back, and how excited are you to experience a UK outdoor festival?
Man, I'm so stoked because of what you were talking about earlier in the interview of this new purpose, this new thing, like where I may have been, there may be some physical things that I can't do now. That the show has enriched itself with purpose and a greater message. The book's better, and like, people got to come see this show. It is, as you saw at Riverfront, there's a different thing to it. There's like a different it's spiritual. It's
like going to church. It really is.
Yeah, it's a church thing, and it's a power. It's an anointed thing. It's religious almost, and I don't mean that in a weird way. I mean, religion. The word laganos just means together, and re means again. So I threw religious out there, so people are like, "Whoa, my man, don't be." But it means together again. And if that is the definition of religious, then I'm religious, because I want to gather together again and again and again and again, and eat good food and play good music and create experiences that people are able to take with them for years to come and go, you know what? I received so much hope and passion that night through that music, that I'm not going to take my life, that I am going to beat cancer, that I am going to give birth to this kid, that I am going to ask that woman to marry me, that I am going to be able to say I quit this job and I'm going to pursue my dreams. That's what the hell we're doing. We're not trying to go out here and just do something for the hell of it. There's a purpose to the show. So come to the show, prepare to have a good time and to hug and just to be in it, to be in it.
Yeah. Well, Drake, we're so excited to have you back in the UK, and we're going to be at Millport on the Long Road, so I'm sure we'll catch up with you in person. Yeah, thank you for taking the time to chat with us. I really appreciate your time as always, man.
You're welcome, man. Thank you.